Namaste and welcome everyone, and welcome to this practice about Bhramari breath. Bhramari is honeybee breath, and I've had a few requests to share the practice and understand a little more about it. So I hope you enjoy the teachings here today. Let's close our eyes just for a moment. Bring your index finger to the tip of your thumb. And allow the breath to gently lengthen and deepen. Just easy, no sound. Giving yourself a moment to begin to look inwards rather than outwards. Settling in and allowing yourself to be here fully and to receive the teachings, even though sometimes they may seem a little odd. If we're just open to listening, then in time perhaps they make a little more sense to us. Begin to feel the benefits, and then we wish to come back to the teachings. Let's bring our hands together to our heart center. Bow your head to your heart in gratitude for being as well as you are today. As you raise your head, bring a smile to your face and open your eyes. And rest your hands gently on your lap. Now, a little while ago I posted a video of my singing bowl. I hope you've had a chance to see that, but if not, perhaps if you're watching this recorded, you could pause it and go and have a look at that one. Otherwise, the teaching's here and you can go and have a look later. So I had my singing bowl. And what you will have noticed is that as I drew my mallet, it wasn't this bow, around the edge of the bow, and my singing bowl began to sing, rather like this. The water inside the bowl that I had there started very, very quickly to bounce around. You will have noticed that. I'm not sure if you could see, but I was actually getting wet because eventually, because I kept going, it starts to jump up and down as well. So there's a lot of activity, and it was jumping out of the bowl and onto me, onto my lap. And so there was so much activity within a few moments, very, very quickly. So what was the purpose of showing you that? Well, apart from the fact I think it's quite good fun, I think I wanted you to understand the reasons why we have practices like hummingbee breath. Another one is listening to the bowls, sound meditation, the gong, bowls, this type of thing, the bells, all create vibrations. Now, if you think of our bodies, I think I'm right in saying that we are around about 60% of water. 60%, that's quite a large amount inside this body. And so if we think of the bowl, which we can look at, if we create something that creates a vibration, so the water vibrates too, so the same thing is going to happen in our bodies. We activate this, the water in the body, and it starts to do just what was happening in the singing bowl. So the singing bowl helps us to sort of imagine and believe what goes on inside. So not all of us need a singing bowl or a gong to create these vibrations, because what we can actually do is use our own voice to create the vibrations. Now, those of you who've been to a sound bath, gong bath, sound meditation, whatever it's called, it has several names, will know that we feel absolutely wonderful afterwards. And so the humming bee breath gives us that opportunity to do exactly the same thing for ourselves. So it's a really, really good tool to have. And so I'm going to explore today the variations of it, because there are quite a few variations. So if you've seen one way and you think, oh, well, that's not how I learned how to do it, and that's because there are several variations. So, and that's really quite a good tool. It means that, you know, if we find it difficult for whatever reason to do it one way, we can have a go and do it another way. And some really easily accessible for wherever we would be. So why do we do this practice? Well, we do this practice to release anxiety from the body. It's really, really good to calm the mind, to calm the busyness of the mind. It's good to calm the nervous system. It's good to calm the joints of the body. It's good to just relax the muscles of the body. And it can clear the mind. Really, really beautiful to clear the mind. And the thing is, it works very quickly. I use humming bee breathing in my practices a lot, even in asana. So when we're moving around, that is, when we're moving, and especially if I'm holding, and if we're holding an asana that's, you know, maybe reaching into the hips, and it's things like kapatasana, the pose, where pigeon pose, where we are deep into the hip, and we're wanting to relax and release the tension from the hip. So if we use the humming breath there, then we can release the tension in that hip, and then hopefully the hip finds some space and then feels much more healthy and open and flexible afterwards. So there's several ways that we can use the practice. So we're going to delve in and we're going to try a few of them. So the first one is probably the simplest form, and we could use this. This is the one I use during asana, but also when we just want to sit easily and maybe bring ourselves into the practice, or even calm down before we move into Shavasana. Having said that, whilst I'm near that sort of space in the practice, let me just say that this practice is really good if you can't get to sleep. So a few rounds of your humming bee breath in bed, mind busy, can't get to sleep, you could try a few rounds there. So let's rest our hands nice and easily. I hope you've got a nice comfortable place to sit. It needn't be the floor, it could be your chair. You could even be propped up in your bed watching this, wherever feels comfortable. In your garden, maybe see the bees in the garden. They're just coming around my lavender right now. So it's really, really pretty. So anywhere that suits you today, watch it and practice. So we're going to close our eyes. Let's bring our index finger to the tip of the thumb. A few easy breaths here. Relax the jaw. A little space in between your upper and lower teeth. and soften the tongue. Eyes just close gently. Very good. So all we're going to do is breathe in nice and easily, and on your out breath you make a beautiful humming sound. Breathing in. And again, in breath. And again. Well done. Return the breath to an easy breath. Keep your eyes closed. Perhaps already you can notice little tingling sensations in your body. Other things may be there for you to observe. Sense of calm, moving away from the outside world. Beautiful. Gently open your eyes. So that's one of the easiest way to use this practice. Things to remember about this are that what we don't want to do is to try to prolong the exhalation too long, because if we do, then we lose our breath, and then by the time we're at the end of the breath, we're then gasping as we inhale, and then we start again. So instead of it becoming calming, we create the anxiety. We don't want to do that. So when I do this practice in a group situation, I'm always aware, we get competitive, so-and-so's breath is much longer than mine, and I want to do it as long as that, so I try to keep up. So instead of being focused on what I'm doing, I'm focusing on what other people are doing. So when I teach it in a group setting, I encourage people to do it at their own pace. So, and what happens there, the benefits of that is, as we stay in this practice for maybe 5-10 minutes, everyone's breathing is rolling over, rolling over, rolling over. So we have a constant sound of humming in the room, which is absolutely beautiful. And of course, the group sound helps us to create even more healing, more calm, more peace, more bliss, all of the above. So remember to keep the breath nice and easy. Okay. So if you're thinking of any questions, maybe you pause and have a scribble down of your question about that, and I look through the questions and I'll get back to you and answer in the best I can. If there's anything I don't know, I'll study and find out and get back to you too. So that's a very simple one. We can use that as a simple way to calm down in practice, in asanas, when you want to encourage yourself to hold an asana for a little longer, or release just some tension in the shoulders or the body, in any other form of the part of the body. Okay, so here's another version. This version, we bring the arms up and we place, I think it's called the tragus, isn't it? And you pop your thumbs on those little bony areas on the side, on your ears. And then your little finger comes just above your eyebrows, ring finger on your hairline, middle finger on the top of your head, and the index finger stretching to the back part of the top of your head. So then the elbows are lifted, heart is lifted. Then we close the eyes, press gently into the ears, and then we begin. You might hear my voice in the background. You're going to breathe, let's say we're going to breathe 7 times, and we're going to do that at our own pace as I encouraged. And when you're finished, bringing your hands down to rest on your lap, close your eyes and keep breathing, okay? So closing our eyes, take a breath in. Eyes stay closed as you finish your 7th round. That might have been before me or a little afterwards. Shan Mudra, index finger to thumb, close eyes, breathe easily, observe. Gently opening your eyes. Once again, if you're thinking of any questions here, perhaps write them down or try to remember them for later, and get in touch in any way that you wish. One question may be about this. Well, actually, I have a shoulder issue or a rotator cuff injury, or even my arms were aching, my shoulders were aching, my upper body was aching when I held my arms up here. That's natural too. Now, if that's the case, the mind is going to start thinking shoulder, 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 or whatever it is, if that's the case, if there's something that's an issue. So I invite you then, rather than stop, gently bring your hands down and just continue in the first variation that we did. Easy. Rather than coming out, no, my shoulder, blah, 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 then you've lost the benefit straight away. So this goes for really the next 2 practices as well. I think I've got 2 more to show you. And the next variation is also with the hands up. So if it's really, really difficult, please don't turn the video off, because there's lots of lovely tips and ideas coming here. You can continue to sit in your comfortable space and take the mudra. It helps us make that in-outside connection. So, and continue with this version, okay? So the next version I'm going to show you is where we, again, the thumbs are the connection with the ears. They cut off the outside world. And then this one takes, the 4 fingers are held closely together, and they come, the index finger rests on the eyes, and then my fingers are just gently resting on my cheekbones and down towards my nose. Thumbs on the ears, and off we go again. Remember to just gently bring the hands down if your shoulders ache. Keep the elbows up, heart open, 7 rounds again. Take a breath in. Again, don't rush. Just as you finish, gently bring the hands down. Index finger to thumb, eyes closed. Notice the sensations in your ears, in your head, your body. Choose positive words. The mind likes to think of negative words. Gently open the eyes. If you want to stretch your legs at any time, please do. Change position. You know you can do that too. If you like to kneel or to sit on a cushion, lift your hips a little higher. Anything at all. Or move on to a seat as well. So now we have two more versions to do now, I'm sure. Next one I'm going to show you is the one that's in my video that I posted a little while ago of some of my students demonstrating the next version. And this one is thumbs are still on the ears. Index finger goes above the eyebrows. Middle finger closes the eyelids. This is all very gentle. This is just touching, not pressing, okay? So, and then the middle fingers are at the eyes. Ring finger, you have to bend the fingers accordingly, just because obviously they're different lengths, different parts of the face. The ring fingers are gently resting just above the flare of your nostrils. And again, don't press because you won't be able to breathe through your nose. And then the 2, 3, and then the little fingers come to the corners of your mouth. As I say, if you press too hard, then you will feel that you can't breathe, and that will create tension. Also, if you have any worries about feeling claustrophobic, then this one may not be for you, or the next one, okay? So there's this one, and the other one, which is just slightly different, is that the index fingers are on the eyelids. The middle finger just above the flare of the nostrils. The ring fingers come and rest just above your top lip, and the little fingers are just underneath your bottom lip. The elbows are high, the chest, the heart is lifted. And then we can begin. So choose one of those. Would you like a reminder? Index, middle, ring, little. Or index, middle, ring, little. Thumbs either side. Choose one as you wish. And when you feel ready, I'm going to do this one here. 7 rounds in your own time once again. Take a breath in to begin. We all meet here. Take your time if you're still breathing in the Shanmukhi practice. Bhramari, be breath. We all meet with our eyes closed, focusing on the space in between the eyebrows, or the crown of the head, or just above the crown of the head. And breathe in and breathe out here for a moment or two. Notice how calm you feel, at peace, blissful, happy. This is your true nature. This is the real you. Gently bring your hands together to your heart center. Let's complete our practice with Om and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wishing peace for ourselves, peace for our family and friends, peace for everyone. Every being deserves peace. Take a breath in to begin. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Have a beautiful day, everyone. A good sleep. Keep smiling.